I'm going to be completely straight up with you. I'm just going to leave this right here in the open. This is going to be a video glazing the hell out of Nikola Jokic, so if you don't want to see that, feel free to leave. Because Nikola Jokic isn't only having the best season of his entire career this year, he's having one of the greatest single seasons in the history of the NBA. And it's the reason why, me personally, I don't think this MVP race between Jokic and SGA is very close at all. But before we get into all that, what's good, guys? It's DemiM7. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You have a great weekend, I know it. So let's just get the MVP stuff out of the way first, because I'm sure that's what plenty of people would want to talk about, because to give him credit, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is having a fantastic season with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their record is great. They're number 1 in the West. He's averaging 32 points per game, leading the league. But to address the stats first, here's what their stats are for this season compared. And as you can see, I mean, look, Jokic is still averaging 30 points per game versus 32. Not a big difference to me. He's averaging almost 8 more rebounds versus Shai. And here's the thing that gets me. He has 4 more assists per game than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Their steals per game are basically identical at 2. And then when it comes to field goal and 3-point percentage, it's Jokic all the way. Statistically speaking, Jokic is having a much better season than Shai. That's just facts. But okay, let's go back to team success. Like I mentioned earlier, the Thunder are the number 1 seed in the West. Well, the Nuggets are the 4th seed in the West. They're not that far. In fact, they're trying to close in on that 3rd spot. If the Nuggets finish top 4, top 3 in the West by the time the season is over, I really don't think the standings matter. Now, if that's still not enough for you to be convinced that Jokic is the MVP this season, don't worry, we got plenty more to go over. Like the fact that Nikola Jokic right now is averaging a triple-double, and if he finishes the season with this triple-double, he'll only be the 3rd player in NBA history to do that, following Oscar Robertson and, of course, Russell Westbrook. Which, for some people out there, I'm sure could be kind of like a, well, you know, Russ did this and he only won MVP once. Why should Jokic win it now, doing it for the first time? And to put it simply, efficiency. Jokic's efficiency, averaging a triple-double this season, dwarfs Westbrook's MVP season. But that's not it. Oh no. You see, when Westbrook won MVP, he finished top 3 in points per game and assists per game, but he finished 10th in rebounds per game. If Nikola Jokic ends the season with his stats being where they are, he would be the first player in the history of the NBA to finish top 3 in points, assists, and rebounds per game. Let me repeat myself. The first player in the history of the NBA to finish top 3 in those statistics. That's just unheard of. That is genuinely legendary stuff here. No one's ever done that before. Not even close. So to kind of put a bow on this whole MVP thing, again, no disrespect to SGA. He's having an amazing season. But it sucks for him that he's playing at the same time as Jokic in his prime. I mean, I gotta admit, it kind of feels like a LeBron James, Michael Jordan in their prime sort of feeling. Like you could be having the best season of your career, but if you're playing at the same time as those guys, you're probably not going to win MVP because they're just so much better. That is Nikola Jokic right now. And I really do think a lot of people are just more hesitant to kind of crown him as the best player in the world, even though he's been clearly the best player on the planet for at least the last 4 years. People are more hesitant because he just doesn't look like the prototypical best basketball player on the planet right now. He doesn't look super athletic. He doesn't look super mobile, agile, none of that stuff. But he plays the game better than anybody. LeBron James in his prime had this unreal, rare ability to make all the players around him better. That's how he was able to drag those garbage Cavaliers team, before they got Kyrie and Kevin Love, to the finals. That's what Jokic is doing with all these guys around him. Not saying that the Nuggets are bad, they have some good players, but my point is, he elevates them all. But I do kind of want to take this a bit further in terms of what Jokic is doing right now. I don't know if the Nuggets are going to get to the Western Conference Finals. I certainly don't know if they're even going to make it to the finals. The West is stacked with a lot of very good teams, and the Nuggets have to play at their absolute best to have a chance. But I want to make this very clear. If Nikola Jokic wins the MVP this year, that would make it 4 MVPs in 5 years. So let's contextualize a little bit. There are only 5 players in NBA history to have won the league MVP at least 4 times. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, and Wilt Chamberlain. If Jokic wins the MVP this season, That would make him the 6th player ever to do that. But what would make that even crazier is that Bill Russell and LeBron James are the only players in league history to win 4 league MVPs in 5 seasons straight. That is legendary stuff. That is top 10 stuff. That's right, I'm saying it now. If Nikola Jokic wins MVP this year, doing what he's doing, you have to put him in the top 10 players of all time. You just have to. Having a kind of peak that he has had over the last 4 to 5 seasons is stuff only a very few number of players have ever done. Just to highlight some of the more insane things that Jokic is doing this season. Did you know that this season Jokic is averaging more points than Shaquille O'Neal ever did in his career, more rebounds than Tim Duncan ever did in his career, and more assists than any center in the history of basketball? Did you know that this year Nikola Jokic put up a 35-point, 20 rebound, and 15 assist game? Only the 2nd player in the history of the NBA to do that, Wilt Chamberlain being the 1st. Oh, and this is a good one for all the triple-double haters out there. Nikola Jokic has put up 150 triple-doubles in 713 career games. 21% of his games, Jokic has put up a triple-double, the highest percentage in NBA history. In those 150 games that Jokic put up a triple-double, the Nuggets have 119 wins to 31 losses. That is insane. I mean, hell, the guy is already a top 20 player in league history as far as I'm concerned, but winning another MVP this year, after everything that I just said, puts him in the top 10. I don't care what anyone says. And I'm sure some people out there will be like, oh, well, he has to win another championship. He needs another championship to be top 10. He only has 1. Me personally, I couldn't care less as it pertains to the context of this conversation involving Nikola Jokic and just how phenomenal he is. So yeah, Nikola Jokic is one of the best basketball players I've ever seen in my life, and he is just doing things that we have never seen before. It's honestly incredible. It's just a great time to be a basketball fan right now. That's all I have to say about this entire thing, but let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think about the MVP race, what you think about Jokic, SGA, all of it. Let's chop it up. And until next time, peace.